Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is a special edition to discuss more about gold, especially about the most popular scheme of investing in gold, the sovereign gold bond schemes. The big question we're asking is, will there be no more sovereign gold bonds? Why are we asking this is because sources have told Business Today Television that the government is mulling to not sell any more government sovereign gold bond schemes. And this is because the government now thinks this scheme has turned out to be more expensive than the government thought, and also it's a complex instrument. Remember, the sovereign gold bond scheme was launched back in the year 2015, and that was the idea behind launching this was to curb the gold imports of the physical gold that we were getting into India, and that had also led to a sharp spike in India's current account deficit. So in order to curb that, the government had launched this scheme so that people could continue to invest in the paper form of gold via government bonds, and also that could put less burden on our current account deficit. Now, while that has paid off handsomely for the investors, the payouts have actually proven way too expensive for the government. The latest budget documents have actually showed that the government owes investors about 85,000 crore rupees, which has now gone up nearly 9 times from just about 10,000 crore rupees that was seen at the end of March 2020. So the big question is why the government and why the RBI might be now rethinking their approach to sovereign gold bonds going forward from here. To help us decode some of the key points right here, and also to explain to us what happens to your own investments in case you are invested in sovereign gold bonds, I have a special panel of experts. One is my colleague Karishma Soodani, who's broken this news for us, Business Today Television. She will be explaining to us what the sources have told her in terms of the sovereign gold bonds. We also have with us our editor for Money Today, Tina Jain Kaushal, and we also have our external expert, Mr. Navneet Damani, who's the Group Senior VP of Commodity Research at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Warm welcome to all three of you, and thank you so much for joining in to help us understand, and our viewers as well, as to what is in the offing. Let me first ask Karishma as to what have the first sources told her in terms of the sovereign gold bond schemes and why the government is probably looking to rethink on their launch of the schemes going forward.
Thank you, Sakshi. Yes, we're picking up from government sources that the government is not in favor of continuing the SGB scheme. And this also, of course, comes in with the fact that it's a very expensive tool for them. While the idea was definitely to cut down any kind of money laundering and frauds involved, the whole purpose of SGB scheme has now come to a point where government is slightly apprehensive of the increased expenditure on their note. Hence, in the month of September, a meeting likely will be taking place that will decide the fate of sovereign gold bond scheme. This meeting will also coincide with the RBI borrowing calendar meeting, and it is unlikely that there could be continuation of this scheme. Now, when asking the officials if this was more of a follow-up to the precedents that they set with their budget decision of reducing the import duty on gold by a major margin, they say that that was done just to stabilize the gold market and it has no impact on the sovereign gold bond scheme. But the idea of nullifying the sovereign gold bond scheme is because of it is a policy decision, and they're not much in favor of it, as they see an increased expenditure which is impacting their other checks and balances.
Karishma, thanks a lot for that update. Let me come to you, Tina, to continue on that point as well, and to probably help us understand, are there already any existing signs that are indicating that the government has already begun a rethink on what could be the future course for the sovereign gold bonds? Is there already some sign of a slowdown right now?
Yes, Sakshi, if we look at the historic data, SDBs usually come in the month of between April to July. The first series come between April to July. But what we have seen this time is that we are sitting in the month of August, and so far there is not any series released for fiscal year 25. So definitely there is a slowdown compared to previous year, because if I look previous years in last 2 years 4 tranches were released, and before that around 14 tranches were released, as high as 14 tranches. So over the years from 14 to 10 to 9 to 4, we have come down to no tranches so far in this financial year. So clearly there has been a slowdown in the release of SGBs.
That's a valid point right here. Let's bring in our expert to give his view now. Navneet, warm welcome again. Do tell us, how are you picking up onto these signs that are already indicative of that the government has now, one, reduced the number of tranches over the last few years, and second, what sources are now telling us that probably there could be no more tranches of sovereign gold bonds going forward from here. What does it mean?
Well, thank you, Sakshi, for having me on the show. Well, there are two things. Firstly, officially, there is no confirmation as to these schemes will be discontinued. But of course, we see that it is proven to be a very, very big expenditure for the exchequer. That is the government. And an average of about 12% plus returns has been generated in most of the schemes which were released in the first 2 years, and maybe about 15% CAGR for the schemes which have come in the last 3 to 4 years. So this is something which the government did anticipate, because if you compare it with government bonds, they are in the range of 6.5 to 7.5%, whereas something like a gold backed product, which was a paper product, of course, there was no physical backing of gold in the sovereign gold bond, which is kind of hurting the government about 12 to 15%, is something that is not gone too well. Over the last 2 years, there have been number of tranches for sovereign gold bond. In fact, in the last year, we had more than about 12 tranches, and the total collection was to the tune of 44 tons, vis-a-vis what we've seen in the average of about 22 to 24 tons for the last 7 8 years. So this kind of number of tranches, which was, and the kind of acceptance which came in from the investors last couple of years, has been actually really worrying that people are now getting lured towards investing in gold. The basic purpose, I think, where they wanted to bring down gold imports and launch sovereign gold bond was one of the tool. But in fact, in the bargain, government has had a massive setback. And now the total outstanding position are roughly in the range of 70,000 tons to about 70,000, 7 lakh crore to about 8 lakh crore is the estimated number of sovereign gold bond issuance. And by bringing down the duty by 9%, there is a massive rebate that, or massive uh, relief that the government would have got in case that duty which has come down. So will there be more tranches? Will there be no other tranches from here on? Is somebody's guess. But even if there are tranches from here on, I think it will not be opened till a very long time, and there'll be a cap. Ideally, there should be a cap of about maybe 1 ton, 2 ton, 5 ton, whatever the number is. That is, even if there are tranches which are coming over, there will be definitely cap coming over as to the kind of investment they will accept.
Important point there, that even if we do see probably a continuation, there could be a slowdown. There could also be a think on probably capping the amount of investments that one can, that the government can receive in terms of one tranche. That's something that could be important as well. But Tina, could you also help us understand, in terms of, you've already highlighted that there is a slowdown and why there has been a slowdown as well. What kind of investments really went in from 2015 to thus far within the sovereign gold bonds? What are the kind of returns investors have really garnered? Of course, like we are talking, that this has been a big boon for all the investors. They've really made a lot of money, but it's been a dampener for the exchequer right there. But what kind of returns have people got?
So So if I take the case of first tranche Sakshi, it was released at the price of around 2600 and the redemption price, and it was released in 2015. So after 8 years when the redemption has been done, it is done at the rate of 6100 something. So there is clearly a jump, massive jump. If I look at absolute jump, it is as high as 120%. And just remember, we are talking about SGBs which give us return, fixed return over and above the market rates of gold prices. So above this 120%, you also earn 2.5% every year. So this lead to point to point return of around 150% over the period of 8 years. So when the government actually launched this SGB first, we remember that was the time when gold prices were not moving so steeply. So it was the period when gold prices was actually on a downward spiral. So if I talk about the period between 2012 to 2019, gold prices actually came down, or they were just flat during this period. And the estimate was this only, that instead of borrowing at 7.5%, government can borrow this money at 2.5%. And at this time, it was not expected that gold price will just shoot away like this, the way it has been now. So because of this, if I look at the calculation, around 245 crore was raised through the first tranche, and that has cost government around 600 crore, including the interest cost, 500 on the gold prices and 50 crore around the interest over the period of 8 years. Instead, if the government had raised the money through government bonds, assuming at the rate of 7%, it would have come around 400 crore. So clearly there is extra liability of rupees 200 crore, and I am only talking about the first tranche. Around 4 to 5 tranche has already been redeemed, has come for redemption, and we have total 67 tranches with the government. So you can see the amount of burden it can bring if the gold prices continue to go up. So that is the kind of return we have seen from gold, and that's why the government is on the back foot now and has might take a pause in releasing new tranches of SGBs.
Might take a pause. Okay, Navneet, we've done so many shows on gold, so many discussions as far as which are the best forms of investment in gold, and sovereign gold bond would always be right on top when you would be also advising on our channel that investors should go for this option, because they not only get an added on benefit of the price increase, but also that 2.5% annual interest, and plus the capital gains are actually tax free in sovereign gold bonds. What would you really suggest should be the ideal way the government really approaches it? Is the ideal way to just completely stop this scheme right now, or is it to rethink on some of the ways and probably continue the scheme with lesser pain that could be coming in for the government? What are the options in front of us?
Well, firstly, government has to take a call on where the gold prices are heading, just like we analysts do. That they'll also have to take a call, because as your colleague mentioned, that at that point in time when they issued the tranches at 2,800 rupees, nobody was anticipating that prices could go down to 7,500 rupees per gram. They did not know Israel Hamas was coming. They did not know Russia Ukraine was happening, and in the future also we don't know that if prices shoot to about 1 lakh rupees in the near future, then it could be add to further jitters to whatever we are seeing right now. So I think as a product it was great for investors, but it's not gone too well for the government. So even if they are planning to launch more, it ideally will be with a cap of maybe raising some tons of gold, and that's about it. They could look to add a backup to gold, as in they could look to be hedging gold on the international exchanges or maybe on the domestic front, wherever they prefer. That could be one of the options that they could look at. Also, what I want to highlight that ever since this has happened and you've seen a massive duty cut, the sovereign gold bond which are trading in the secondary markets are trading at a 5 to 8% premium vis-a-vis they trading at a discount 6 months back. So that is largely because the indexation benefit has gone away from gold at this point. So whoever is holding it wants to continue to hold, and the volumes on the exchange have gone down very significantly lower. So people who have already invested will not want to exit, and new investors want to buy at these levels, because that is the only product at this point where even at a lock-in of 8 years or probably at the end of 8 years, whatever proceeds you might get will be tax free. So that is why you are seeing a lot of interest in the secondary market at this point in time.
So, what are the options for investors? So, we are given to understand that even if there is no future tranche, that's given hypothetically the situation that currently we are discussing, only those investors who've invested thus far will continue to take the benefit. For those who may still want to enter, like you said, in the secondary markets, in the listed space, they can continue to trade. But then there will be that added on tax component, because then the capital gains tax component really comes to play a part right there. So, they lose on that front as well. What else is there as an option in front of investors who may still want to invest in the yellow metal right now?
Well, one could choose to invest in digital format. You could choose to invest in ETFs, which are very prevalent in the market. They have seen reasonable traction vis-a-vis what we've seen in gold prices, and there are many listed names and very renowned companies, and with ample liquidity. So ETF is one of the options that they could have. If you want to have a derivative trade where you want to invest reasonable capital and probably are looking to kind of have some volatility to your portfolio, you could look to buy it on the MCX and keep rolling over position until you get reasonable returns. And lastly, maybe somebody who wants to invest in gold coins and bar could do it on the physical front, paying the 3% GST, which is apportioned to physical investments. Mind you, we've not had a GST meeting ever since the budget has been announced, and probably in the next budget session or next GST session, you might see a tweaking in duty also on gold. So it could eventually become expensive in the physical purchase market as well. So keeping that in mind, I think at 3% duty structure, if you want to buy physical gold, it's a good investment avenue. Jewelry is the last of the recommendation because you kind of tend to lose on the purity, you kind of tend to lose on the making charges, which is a very heavy cost. Anywhere between 8 to 12% is the making cost on jewelry. So unless you want to wear it, go for jewelry. Otherwise, bars and coin remain the preferred investment avenue.
I cannot let you go, Navneet, before telling me where are you looking at the gold prices now headed going forward from here. We are heading into the festive season. We've enjoyed the customs duty slash and the price drop, from the all-time high levels right there. But it's again inching back again. Internationally, there's not been any difference. In fact, it's only gone up a bit in the international levels. But domestically, what's the sense that you're getting on terms of gold prices?
Well, internationally, we are about $10-20 shy of lifetime high levels. Domestic front, we are about 2,500, 3,000 rupees lower than what we were previously to the budget. Our stance has been bullish and we continue to maintain a positive stance. However, we have seen massive amount of negative news getting priced into gold at this point in time. Whatever bad or whatever unforeseen was could have been expected is going on currently. We have 3 geopolitical events which are impacting or supporting gold prices. We have elections in the US around the corner. We have rate cuts around the corner, and there is a lot of divided opinion between 50 basis point cut here or 100 basis point cut this year. Along with that, we are seeing inflationary concerns, recessionary environment in certain locations. So most of the negative factors are playing in the market at this point in time, and maybe about $100 upside in gold from here on is where I see gold prices going around and taking a pause. On the domestic front, it will culminate to about 75,000, 74,500 levels, and that's where we see gold by the end of the year. That's about it.
Okay, so that's where we see the gold prices going forward. Thank you so much, Navneet, for your time and sharing with us all your thoughts and ideas there. Truly appreciate your time with us and sharing your insights on sovereign gold bond scheme. We'll have to wait and watch to really see how the government really looks forward. Probably the next month is when we could see some meeting happen and some more clarity emerge from there. Thank you so much, Navneet. Well, we'll continue our discussion with Tina right there. Tina, you've been tracking gold for far too long now. Do tell us, for all those investors now, the FOMO will start now. That's what exactly Navneet was also pointing out, that once the customs duty was slashed, we also saw all forms of gold getting into, attractive investment zones as well. Even in the secondary market, the sovereign gold bond scheme started to gain some traction right there. Now, when we are discussing and we are seeing that probably there could be no more tranche of sovereign gold bond, in case that happens, then what are the options in front of investors? Do they really stand to lose out a lot, or are there still enough good options right there for them to make long-term investments in gold?
There are many options, many good options available, but yeah, SGB is the best option because it gives you fixed guarantee of 2.5, but now it's not on the plate. So what are the other options? The second best option I will say is to invest through ETF, which is exchange traded fund. So if you have a demat account, you can simply go and buy gold ETF. There are many options available, and you can just get the gold price, gold ETF at the prevailing prices. And the most attractive part of ETF is their cost is very low. So it will be around 0.5 or something lower than that. So it is in case of mutual fund, this cost might be higher. So which brings me to the another option of buying gold. It can be through gold funds. Gold funds you can buy through mutual fund company. Here here you don't need a demat account to buy gold. You need to have just KYC done from your mutual fund, and you can buy directly from the mutual fund company. But here the catch is your cost might be a bit higher compared to ETF, because in gold fund the upper cap is of 2%. So do check which fund is giving you the lowest cost and go with that fund. And the third option can be digital gold. We have seen many fintech companies that give you the option to buy gold for as low as rupee 1. But here again the catch is the buying price can be higher than the market price, and the selling cost can be bit lower than the market price. So there you are not getting at the market price. There is some premium added to the price. So you have to look this part while buying digital gold. And another part that you have to keep in mind is digital gold is not regulated. There is no regulator for digital gold. For ETF and gold fund we have SEBI as a regulator, but digital gold we don't have a regulator. So there are attractive options available in the market, but you have to see which one suits you the most.
राइट टीना, बहुत सारे दर्शक हमारे बिजनेस टुडे बाजार के भी ये खास शो देख रहे हैं, तो उनके लिए हम हिंदी में भी बता देते हैं कि फ़िलहाल मुद्दा क्या है और अब आपके लिए निवेश के हिसाब से किस तरीके से आपको सोने में या फिर गोल्ड में आगे बढ़ना है। पहली बात ये है कि इस तरीके के सोर्सेज रिपोर्ट्स हमारे पास हैं बिजनेस टुडे टेलीविज़न पर, जो कि सरकारी सोर्सेज से हमें पता चला है कि शायद सरकार अब सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम्स नहीं लेकर आएगी अब जो आगे के ट्रांचेस बचे हैं। अब इसके लिए टीना ने हमको ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर बताया कि ऑलरेडी आप स्लो डाउन देख रहे हैं। अक्सर अगर आप देखें तो अप्रैल से जून के महीने के बीच में आप एक ना एक ट्रांच तो आरबीआई की तरफ से सोने में निवेश की, सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स की अक्सर देखते थे, लेकिन पिछले 3-4 साल से लगातार अगर हम ट्रेंड देखें तो एक ये स्लो डाउन का ट्रेंड ऑलरेडी देखने को मिल रहा है। कुछ एक साल में आपको 14 तक ट्रांचेस देखने को मिले, धीरे धीरे ये कम होते होते 10, फिर 9 और पिछले साल केवल 4 ट्रांचेस आपको आते हुए दिखे हैं। इस साल में अब तक एक भी ट्रांच सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स का नहीं आया है। अब यही इंडिकेट करता है कि सरकार प्रॉबेबली सोच रही है कि सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम को आगे किस तरीके से देखा जाए। सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम साल 2015 में लॉन्च हुई थी और इस नज़रिए से लॉन्च हुई थी क्योंकि भारत में गोल्ड इंपोर्ट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा था, करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट के ऊपर काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रेशर पड़ रहा था क्योंकि लोग फिजिकल गोल्ड बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वेस्ट कर रहे थे। अब उस प्रेशर को हटाने के लिए सरकार ने सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम लॉन्च की, जिसमें फिजिकल गोल्ड ना खरीद के लोग बॉन्ड्स में खरीद सकते हैं और उससे उतना ज़्यादा सोना इम्पोर्ट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती फिर सरकार को। और इस वजह से एक तरफ इन्वेस्टर्स को फायदा हुआ क्योंकि सरकार ने इस स्कीम को काफ़ी अट्रैक्टिव बनाया, 2.5% तक का एडिशनल एनुअल इंटरेस्ट देकर, जो कि आपको प्राइस अप्रिसिएशन के ऊपर मिलता है। और प्राइस अप्रिसिएशन का जो भी पैसा आपके पास 8 साल के बाद आए वो टैक्स फ्री था, इसलिए भी ये स्कीम काफ़ी ज़्यादा ल्यूक्रेटिव थी। लेकिन सरकार ने अभी हाल फिलहाल में पाया कि सरकार के ऊपर काफ़ी बर्डन पड़ रहा है इस एनुअल इंटरेस्ट को पे करते हुए। ऑलरेडी अगर आप साल 2015 से लेकर साल 2017 तक की जो भी सोवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम्स देखेंगे जो लॉन्च हुई थी, उसमें निवेशकों का पैसा डबल होता हुआ नजर आया है, यानी कि लोगों को बहुत फायदा पहुंचा है। लेकिन इसकी वजह से सरकार को अब भी 85,000 करोड़ का बकाया बाकी है जो निवेशकों को देना है सरकार को इंटरेस्ट के तौर पर। और सरकार ने शायद ये एंटिसिपेट नहीं किया था कि जो गोल्ड प्राइसेस हैं वो एकाएक इतनी तेजी से बढ़ते हुए नजर आएंगे। आप जानते हैं हाल फिलहाल में हमने ऑल टाइम हाई लेवल्स 75,000 रुपए के ऊपर देखे थे सोने के, और अगर आप देखें तो जब ये स्कीम लॉन्च हुई थी तब एक ट्रांच में जो आपको पर 10 ग्राम्स का आपको प्राइस देना पड़ा था वो तकरीबन 2,500 रुपए के करीब का था, जो कि काफी लो था। और वो भी जब फाइनली मैच्योर हुआ तो 6,000 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम के हिसाब से सरकार ने उसको दिया। आज की डेट में अगर आप लेना चाहेंगे तो शायद ये 7,000 रुपए प्रति ग्राम के हिसाब से आता हुआ नजर आएगा। टीना,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल साक्षी, अभी का रेट अगर हम देखें तो गोल्ड करीब 71,000 पे चल रहा है। तो जो रन डाउन अभी हमने गोल्ड में देखा है वो काफी स्टीप आया है। तो पिछले साल की बात करूं, मैं गोल्ड के रिटर्न देख रही थी तो करीब 24% थे। तो इतना गोल्ड भाग गया है। 2019 के प्राइस देखें तो करीब 35,000 थे, आज 71 के आसपास घूम रहा है गोल्ड प्राइस, उससे भी ऊपर गया है। तो आप देख सकते हैं ज़बरदस्त तेज़ी है गोल्ड में।
तो गोल्ड में तेजी है, लेकिन अब आगे आने वाले निवेशकों को अगर आप सोच रहे थे कि सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स में अगर आप निवेश करें तो हो सकता है आपके लिए बुरी खबर हो और शायद सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम्स की ना आए, या फिर टीना जैसे कह रही है कि कहीं ना कहीं एक पॉज की उम्मीद है कि कुछ समय तक आपको ट्रांच ना दिखे जब तक कि सरकार इसके ऊपर कुछ और सोच विचार नहीं कर लेती। लेकिन अगर ऐसा होता है तो आपके पास अब ऑप्शंस क्या हैं? अगर आप तब भी सोने में निवेश करना चाहते हैं, चलिए आपके पास अब बेस्ट ऑप्शन नहीं है जिसमें 2.5% तक का एनुअल इंटरेस्ट मिलता था, लेकिन इसके अलावा भी आपके पास कई ऑप्शंस हैं। अब आपको जरूरी नहीं है कि फिजिकल गोल्ड ही खरीदना है, इसके अलावा भी काफी बेहतरीन ऑप्शंस हैं जिसके बारे में अभी टीना आपको बताएंगी।
जी साक्षी, आपने बिल्कुल ठीक करा। अब 2.5% का ऑप्शन अभी फ़िलहाल नहीं है हमारे पास। तो उसके अलावा एसजीबी के अलावा क्या ऑप्शंस है हमारे पास? तो सबसे पहला ऑप्शन है ईटीएफ का। ईटीएफ बहुत अच्छा इंस्ट्रूमेंट है गोल्ड में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए। डिजिटल इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, आपको फिजिकल गोल्ड नहीं खरीदना है, ऑनलाइन आपको इन्वेस्ट करना है। इसके लिए आपको एक डीमेट अकाउंट चाहिए। तो अगर आपके पास डीमेट अकाउंट है तो आपको बस गोल्ड ईटीएफ टाइप करना है और आपको ऑप्शंस आ जाएंगे आपके पास गोल्ड ईटीएफ के। आपको देखना है कि सबसे सस्ता ईटीएफ कौन सा है, सबसे कॉस्ट कम किसकी है, लिक्विडिटी किसकी अच्छी है, और आप गोल्ड ईटीएफ बहुत अच्छा ऑप्शन है जो बाय कर सकते हैं। दूसरा ऑप्शन है, अगर आपके पास डीमेट अकाउंट नहीं है और आप खुलाना भी नहीं चाहते हैं डीमेट अकाउंट, तो दूसरा ऑप्शन है गोल्ड फंड का। गोल्ड फंड आप कैसे खुला सकते हैं? गोल्ड फंड आप म्यूचुअल फंड कंपनीज के थ्रू खुलवा सकते हैं। इसमें आपको बस अपनी म्यूचुअल फंड कंपनी से केवाईसी करानी है, और अगेन बहुत ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है मार्केट में। सारी कंपनीज एक्चुअली गोल्ड फंड दे रही हैं, बट इसमें अगेन कैच है कि गोल्ड फंड कंपेयर टू ईटीएफ थोड़े महंगे होते हैं। तो गोल्ड फंड में अगर हम देखें, म्यूचुअल फंड की कैपिंग 2% होती है और ईटीएफ के करीब कॉस्ट जो होती है वो 0.50% होती है। तो आपके पास अगर डीमेट नहीं खुलवा सकते तो गोल्ड फंड में आ जाइए। उसमें कॉस्टिंग आप देख लीजिए कौन सा म्यूचुअल फंड आपको सबसे सस्ता गोल्ड दे रहा है, क्योंकि इसका अंडरलाइंग प्राइस तो प्रिवेलिंग गोल्ड प्राइसेस ही रहते हैं। तो इतना आपको रिटर्न में इतना ऊपर नीचे नहीं मिलेगा, बट लिक्विडिटी में शायद मिल जाए। तो दो चीज़ हैं, आप कॉस्ट देख लीजिए और लिक्विडिटी देख लीजिए। तीसरा एक ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है मार्केट में डिजिटल गोल्ड का। तो आपने देखा होगा काफ़ी फिनटेक कंपनीज आपको ऑप्शन देती हैं कि आप कम से कम 1 रुपये से भी गोल्ड खरीद सकते हैं, क्योंकि गोल्ड ईटीएफ में, गोल्ड फंड में कुछ आपका मिनिमम अमाउंट है इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए, बट डिजिटल गोल्ड वाले ऑप्शन में आपको 1 रुपये में भी खरीद सकते हैं। तो इसमें आपको डिजिटल गोल्ड अगर इन्वेस्ट करना है तो आपको 2 बातों का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि डिजिटल गोल्ड में जो आपका कॉस्ट है वो थोड़े प्रीमियम पे होती है, क्योंकि जो प्लेटफॉर्म है वो अपने लिए भी कुछ पैसे बचाता है। इसलिए आपकी जो कॉस्टिंग है वो थोड़ी हाई होगी और सेलिंग प्राइस थोड़ी लो होगी कंपेयर टू अदर ऑप्शंस। और दूसरी आपको बात अपने नज़र में रखनी है कि डिजिटल गोल्ड रेगुलेटेड नहीं है। जैसे ईटीएफ सेबी के अंदर आता है, गोल्ड फंड सेबी के अंदर आता है, बट जो डिजिटल गोल्ड है वो सेबी के अंदर नहीं आएगा। तो इट्स एन अनरेगुलेटेड मार्केट, वो आपको ध्यान में रखना है। तो इन तीनों ऑप्शन में आप देखिए कि आपको क्या सूट करता है, और काफ़ी ऑनलाइन ऑप्शंस हैं जो आप इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं। एसजीबी नहीं आ रहा है अभी, मे बी इन फ्यूचर इट विल कम, बट इफ़ यू वांट, अगर आपको चाहिए कि आपको अभी इन्वेस्ट करना है तो काफ़ी ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है मार्केट में।
ओके, तो सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स के ऊपर किस तरीके से फ्यूचर रहता है, इसके लिए तो हम वेट करेंगे सरकार के ऑफिशियल स्टेटमेंट्स का, लेकिन तब तक आप अपने निवेश को रोकिए मत। आप तरह तरह के जो ऑप्शंस आपको टीना ने बताए हैं, आप अपने फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट से भी बात कर सकते हैं और निवेश करने की शुरुआत कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे साथ जो हमारे एक्सपर्ट हैं नवनीत दमानी, वो भी जुड़े थे और उन्होंने एक ही चीज़ बताई कि फ़िलहाल जो ड्यूटीज़ हैं उन पे ट्वीक हो सकता है, यानी ड्यूटीज़ बढ़ सकती हैं आगे जाते हुए अगर जीएसटी काउंसिल की मीटिंग होती है तो, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी कस्टम्स ड्यूटी की तरफ से आपको राहत मिली है हाल फिलहाल के बजट में, तो शायद ये सही समय है आपके लिए गोल्ड में निवेश करने का, क्योंकि आगे जाते हुए 75,000 रुपये तक के लेवल्स एक बार फिर से देखने को मिल सकते हैं साल के अंत तक, जैसे जैसे फेस्टिव सीजन और वेडिंग सीजन आगे बढ़ता हुआ नजर आएगा। तो डिले मत कीजिए, तुरंत अपने फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर से बात कीजिए और सोने में आप निवेश करना शुरू कर सकते हैं। चलिए इसी खास शो को यहीं समेटेंगे। उम्मीद करते हैं आपको काफ़ी क्लैरिटी मिली होगी। कोई भी अगर आपके मन में सवाल है सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स या फिर गोल्ड के निवेश को लेकर, आप कमेंट सेक्शन पे हमें लिखकर भेज सकते हैं। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार। How are you looking at this new development between Zomato and Paytm last evening, and how Zomato will be taking over the ticketing business of Paytm? Who does it benefit more with this, and how should the retail investors be approaching both these internet-based stocks? On the one hand, we do know that Zomato has consistently been proving the fundamental improvements within the earnings as well, the profitability.